For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise. And you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. Thank you so much for your time, giving me your ear for the next 30 minutes. It better be 30 minutes. If you crap out halfway through, I mean, really, what was the point? Come on, quitter. Huh? Get with it. All right. Well, it's 30 minutes of time wasting fun, so I hope you'll at least give me that. And, I've said this I don't know how many times. Customer service ain't what it used to be. Wasn't that one of the names? Like, we title some of these episodes, right? I'm pretty sure. I know that I wrote a newspaper column with the same name. Is it just me, or is it getting worse? I think it's truly just getting worse. I almost think that you could do, maybe there is one, I don't know, I'd have to look. You could almost do a podcast of just nightmare stories. Like, I know A&E has the show Customer Wars, which is mostly about customers freaking out on people, but there's got to be some kind of a show where people just bitch about their experiences with customer service. Somebody looked that up. They're going to tell me that there is one. All right, never mind. I thought I was having... This is the problem, especially with TV shows, right? It's kind of like everything's been done. It's like a podcast. There's a podcast for everything now. There used to be the joke, there was an app for that, right? There's an app for that. If you want to get something done, there's an app for that. Now there's a podcast for that. I got some stories about customer service. I got to share them because I just... I sit and I shake my head and go, it can't be this bad. It cannot be this bad. It can't. It can't be this bad. It is, my friends, and I'm here to I'm confirming that right now. Breaking news. Where's that CNN banner? Dun, 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 dun. Does anybody work at CNN anymore? That's the big thing. They're losing everybody. Anyway, all right, we're going to talk about customer service, and it starts on the Scribble right after this.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
JB here on The Scribble. You know, I'm in my 40s now, so I grew up, and when I worked in retail, I would have been in my early 20s. I'm trying to think. I did not work retail in my teenage years because I worked at Red Lobster when I was 16, 17, and then I was in college, and then I worked retail, in my early 20s. So back then, I have to tell you, the customer service training that we had, I worked at Party City, I worked at Bootlegger, I worked at Bentley. Canadians will know the name. Well, Party City, I guess. Hey, they're going under. When is their last day? That's coming up, isn't it? Right? Oh my God, I have pictures of myself working at Party City over 20 years ago. They ended up folding in Canada twice. But I worked there. And anyway, I have pictures of that. But so I worked at Party City, Bentley, Bootlegger. Was that the only 3 retail jobs that I had? I'm trying to think. Oh, I worked at like a cell phone store for maybe a few weeks. But anyway, so the point is that customer service training used to be truly like a week and a half, 2 weeks. You used to have to learn, not necessarily like sit in a classroom, because obviously you're on the job, you're out on the floor, whatever, but there was quite a bit of training. Maybe your first day you were not out on the floor and you were in, a back office somewhere reading the policies and this and that and kind of getting the lowdown, but there was extensive training and you were expected to own every interaction with a customer. So what I mean by that is I'm trying to think of, like, we were taught to say certain things. You know what? That's a good question. Let me find out for you. Like we had, depending on the job, I'm trying to think, because Party City, that's what we would say. But my point is that you would own it. If you don't know the answer, you're going to ask somebody else. You're going to maybe ask the manager. You might even have to call another store and ask somebody there, but you would find the answer. What I find now is people don't have the answer. They're not willing to find out for you. They're willing to, though, maybe just pass you to somebody else. Have you found that maybe, because you don't even really call and press 1, press 2 anymore, right? Like it's just the whole customer service thing has changed. But have you found that, okay, so let's say I'm reaching out to the customer service department. Maybe it's in chat or maybe it's on whatever. Is that person usually the one who can help you, or do they have to pass you to somebody else? Like I find you'd almost think that you'd press the wrong number. Let me go back to my old school days here and calling an 800 number for help. Okay. Press 1 for billing, press 2 for technical support, press 3 for whatever. For some reason, I always think that I've pressed the wrong button because I explain my story. Maybe it's about my bill. I tell them whatever, everything. Here's the thing. Okay, well, I can't help you with that. That's the such and such department. I realize that you were respectful and let me talk, but you could have interrupted me and said, oh, actually, you know what? Okay, it's not, you know what? Just, if I may, like shut me up then. Because now I'm frustrated because I now have to go and spend another minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes explaining what it is that I want. And the calls end up being way longer than they used to be. So if you would call the cell phone company, let's say you were inquiring about your bill, whatever, or you had, an extra charge or something that you didn't know what it was. You just needed some clarity or you had a question about a feature that you didn't think was an add-on that you're paying for. You thought it was included or whatever. Like they'd be able to tell you right away. Okay, let me just look that up for you. Here, hold on. I've got a keyboard in front of me. Okay, there we are. Typing. Okay, let me just look in your account here. Well, I see that you signed up on February 2nd for this. Hold on, let me just, a little bit more typing. Okay, it says this. You know what? Let me just put you on a quick hold and get back to you. Okay, fine, great. Right? So you're on hold. And again, so there was another place that I'd known people that worked at a call center that apparently you were not allowed to put the caller on hold for more than a minute. Even if you were having to like run across the room and go and speak to a supervisor, your phone would be beeping, beep, beep every minute. You'd have to come back, refresh the call, and then go back again. Oh, still checking on you, just one more minute. Honestly. And you would get deducted marks if they were like grading your call or screening it, not screening, whatever you call it, not shadowing, can't think of the name. But you would lose marks if you put the call. Well, do you know what happened to me? I was on the phone with PayPal. I'm going to name the company because you know what? These companies have a lot of money. They're cheaping out on customer service. They're hiring people. Now, before anybody comes at me about this whole DEI thing, that's not where I'm going. Where I'm going is these people are not qualified. They're not fully trained. And they're not comfortable in the position because they don't know what they're doing. So I had an issue with my PayPal account. And it wasn't allowing me to transfer money to my bank account. I'd got like a refund. Sometimes you have a payment that goes through PayPal. So I had a refund, but it went to my PayPal. It didn't go back to my bank account or credit card, wherever it was supposed to go. So it was just put in like my PayPal balance. And it was it was a few $100s. So I was kind of like, all right, well, it's not letting me transfer. So I call PayPal, phone it. I'm not doing the chat thing because I need your attention. I am the one and only person that you're interacting with right now in the moment, right? Because on a phone call, maybe they could take 2 calls at once. I don't know that they could, right? Because we're going to have a good 10-minute session here of talking back and forth. So that's why if you're chatting, you're not giving me your full attention and you're not working on this like you should be. So I call PayPal and, verify whatever. And then of course I'm told, oh, well, that's not, I have to transfer you. Oh, it's got to be somebody else. Okay, fine. So I get somebody else and I get them on the phone and they're talking and the exact same fucking thing. Oh, well, no, that's not something I help you with. Okay. So if you're going to get me the right person, can you explain it to them so that I don't have to go into the third explanation of this in this now 20-minute call? Okay. Can you do that for me? Well, it wasn't 20 minutes at that point. Yes, that's fine. No problem. I can do that. Well, do you think they did? No, they did not. So now I get some quiet, almost kind of whispering guy. And I was like, oh, great. Here we go. So I explained the situation. And I said, I was told that I can talk to you, that there's a ticket open for this problem. Is there a problem with your system? What's going on? Why don't I have access to my money? And so I was pleasant at first because, it wasn't his fault that I've been getting the runaround. So I'm not that inconsiderate of a customer. But here's the thing. You fuck around and you piss me off, I'm coming at you. So I'm talking. And so here's the thing. We were on the phone. And because after a while I started recording this call. So I'm on the phone. We had a talk time of about 6 minutes. He puts me on hold because he's allegedly looking into it or whatever. I'm not shitting you because, again, it was recorded. I was on hold for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. 40. Didn't come back to me at all. Did not come back at all. So, am I justified? Am I justified in losing my shit when he comes back on the line? Fucking rights I am. Fucking rights I am. You are not wasting my day. Because I don't know, that could have been your lunch break. Maybe you got a 30-minute lunch break. You could have gone for fucking lunch and I'm sitting here waiting to talk to you because you're messing around with my money. 40 minutes. I was not polite at that point. Was not. Now, because I was recording it, I also had him repeat verbally on the phone. Did you just put me on hold for 40 minutes? Did you not check on me once? Did you ever come back to talk to me in 40 minutes? You're absolutely right, sir. You're absolutely right, sir. No, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. Who trained, and that's, so I was just losing it. And after all that, so now, like I said, we had about a close to 7 minute talk time, hold time of 40 minutes. We're now approaching the 1 hour mark because remember I had the conversations with other people too. We're approaching the 1 hour mark. Nobody has given me an answer yet. Nobody. I've had 3 people. I've gone to different departments. I've been on hold. Not one fucking answer from PayPal, $1 billion and some dollar company. That's the quality. That's the level of customer service that you're getting. So then it gets worse. We're not done yet, everybody. We are not done yet. So then the phone kind of gets crackly. He's not hearing me, whatever. He blames my phone. Blames my phone. And so I said to him, sir, I'm actually on a landline. I said, are you working remotely? Are you working in an office or are you at home? He said, I work for the PayPal office. And I said, I said, are you in an office, in an office workplace, or are you in a home? Oh, I work at home. Okay. Is your phone, I'm asking him this, is your phone connected to the internet? Is this call the internet? Yes, it is. Okay. I'm on a landline. And this is where I feel like a really, really old man because I still have a landline. But you know what? My calls are perfect because that's essentially landline technology. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. So he then says he'll call me back. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. And again, it's all being recorded because I was actually, so he calls me back and he's still blaming my phone. He's still blaming my connection, my phone. He'll call me back again. So this is now technically the third call, and we're going on almost an hour and a half. I still do not have one answer. Why is it happening? What's going on? They kept telling me, add another, you have to add another bank account. You can verify or validate this bank account. Do this. I said, I did all the steps that I was previously told because before they, this is another thing about customer service. They try to make it so difficult that you don't have to speak to somebody. So you can check this, like, okay, it's about a payment. Okay, so I click that, then you get the next options. So everything that it was telling me to do, right? Maybe you had this. Maybe you have to change this. Maybe you need to add this. Maybe I did all those things. So everything that your roadblocks, gatekeepers, so that I don't have to speak to somebody, because customer service is now kind of like fix it yourself, poor customer. You fix it, customer. It's on you. And only if you absolutely have to talk to one of us. Like, have you noticed that about websites too? Like the contact information, you might say you find it as contact, but it brings up help resources. And it's not until you scroll all the way down, that's when you can almost see. But then you get that whole automated system. You get the chat bot that's going to help you. Instead, it's still not letting you talk to somebody. Still not letting you. I'll type human now. It knows that. It knows to get somebody on the line then. But then, again, you're in a chat queue. And what's interesting, again, is these work-from-home people. Obviously, they don't have a supervisor just across the hall or across the room that they can go and ask. So that's the whole shitty thing about customer service. It's taking long because they've even told me that they then have to sit in a chat queue, queue being Queuee, right? A queue, a lineup, a wait, whatever. Employees have to also wait in a queue to hear from a supervisor or a manager. So they might be fourth in line to hear from a manager they've never met. Isn't it ridiculous? So that it's not just as simple as, can you get me a manager? Well, I actually don't really have one. I've never really met the manager. I don't know what country my manager's in. That's a problem, folks. That is a problem. That's a problem. That's PayPal. That's $1 billion company giving you that shitty customer service. Yep. Now, do we have time for, I'm going to finish this and then I'll get on to Instacart. Okay. So I was livid because it's 2 weeks and I said, here's the deal is I'm going to just start taking legal action because you're not transferring money to me. You're not allowing me to do it. You're not telling me what the problem is. I was told at one point there was a ticket open, then there wasn't a ticket open. So I don't know what's going on. Are you stealing from me? Are you refusing me access to my money? Because, spoiler, that's illegal. And so I was livid. And again, normally I'll kind of just let that sort of stuff pass, but I'm not one of those people who then goes on Facebook and does this big rant about PayPal. I didn't do that at all. But I went and I did, what I enjoy doing now is a review or a complaint, like with the Better Business Bureau or something like that. So I did. I basically wrote this big long paragraph. I said, I wasn't able to do it. I followed all the steps on the website. Nothing worked. I called in. I was put on hold for 40 minutes. I was bounced around, this and this and that. After all this, for however many, days and weeks it went on, because truly it was about 2 weeks that I couldn't get anything. I said, yeah, I'm going to, this was the customer experience from this big company like that. So when I think back to my customer service days, like I said, if you didn't know the answer, you would get it. You would, you would own that interaction. And I don't see that now. I don't see it. Oh, well, I'll put a ticket. Somebody will get back to you. Somebody will follow up with you. Oh, watch your email. Somebody will get back to you. Party City, if we didn't know it, let me take your number and I'm going to call you back. And there were times where I would have a phone number and a name in my pocket or up at the register or something. And I'd be like, God, what was that about again? Oh my God, I totally didn't call it. And you were so apologetic when you did call them back. But you owned it. You owned it because that was just good customer service. Right? And now it's, people just, I don't know. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to talk to you about more on the chat customer service element on the Scribble right after this.
It's never too early to start thinking about your next holiday. Have you checked out Mexico recently? From tequila tasting, swimming with horses, to ziplining through the jungle and watching whales and dolphins in their natural habitat, Puerto Vallarta has it all. Visit mexico.jbonair.com to see all the fun PV has to offer. That's at mexico.jbonair.com for hundreds of photos, interviews, and videos from around the tourist hotspot. Check out mexico.jbonair.com for all the fun. That's mexico.jbonair.com.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched? And who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
JB here on the Scribble. Let me give you my email address. As I'm talking about like digital communication and how shitty it is, but I enjoy hearing a good customer service fail story. So my email address, live@jbonair.com, live, L-I-V-E, at jbonair.com. So more and more common is this chat, either a chat bot or just a chat interaction. And companies can look at this because it's cheaper. You can have multiple conversations at one time. And, you know, whatever, fine. And so it's maddening as all hell because a lot of times there will be responses, like cut and paste responses, that don't exactly answer what you're talking about or what you're discussing. So you're kind of just like, I don't really know what this is about. Like, what am I... Okay, well, that didn't answer the question. Try again. Like, if you give me 3 of the nonsensical answers, I'm going to ask you, like, I don't think that you're reading what I'm... or is there somebody else that can help me that knows English? So I had an Instacart order. By the way, I'm also against fees for being a customer. I don't like that. So I will wait until I'm offered a free trial. So if you have something like Uber Eats or whatever it is, and they'll offer you, you know, like a 2-month free pass or whatever it is, I'll take that. That's fine. I'll take the 3 months free, and then I will let it lapse. Right? I'll cancel it. I won't renew. I've never paid the monthly fee to be a customer with, and then you let it lapse, and then it's on the 1 month mark for Uber Eats. Do you want another 6 months free? Okay, great. You let that lapse, you get another 3 months. Let that lapse for a month, you get 5 months. So with Instacart, it was the same kind of a thing where I just, they'd sign me up for, I don't remember what it was. Is it or you get like the 14-day or 30-day trial or whatever for some of these things? Okay, fine. Whatever it was, the trial period, let's say. Let's say it was 30 days. Don't quote me, I'm just giving as an example. So I had the 30-day, free trial. I'm not paying fucking $4.99 monthly fee or $10 or whatever it is. You want me to be a customer, so give it to me free, whatever, and then I'll just, cancel it. I'm not going to use it. That's fine because I know the game. I know what's going to happen. You're going to offer it to me free. So anyway, I just, we just renewed it at the house or whatever. And so what happened was we were getting groceries delivered, and if the store doesn't have something, the shopper will, have recommendations or another suggestion or whatever it is, and you can put whether you want them or not or just refund it. So we had like chicken breasts and just different foods, obviously grocery shopping on the list, and the shopper was saying that well, this isn't available but this one is. They always recommend like something that's double the price of what you were getting, so nice try but no. And so so he had said, well, they don't have this, but I don't know if it was some kind of like butter or whatever it was. And then I said, okay, well, you know what? I see another item, which is about the same price. So, just exchange it, swap it out for this one. He wrote back and said, I'm already at the checkout. It's too late. And I said, you're still shopping the order. So like, you're not in the big, he was in a smaller kind of a grocery store. I was just said like, well, no, you asked me which ones I wanted. You're the one shopping for me, right? The whole convenience of this is that I'm at home. I don't have to go. But let me have a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Like, I'm not sitting there clutching my phone the whole time you're shopping. So if I didn't see the notification and I just get it, like, you're still at the store, you're still shopping. Maybe you're waiting for me, but there's other things on my list. So he basically refused. He'd offered a couple other things. I said, no, not the expensive ones. And then I said, I found one. Do this one then. And he didn't. He refused and said, no, it's too late. So I go on the chat support thing, right? I open it up. And so I get the person and I just said, look, the guy, go into the chat. Like, I want you to see it for yourself, because that's also where I don't want to misrepresent it. You read the conversation. You see what happened. You see, I'm not lying to you. You have access to it. I'm authorizing you. Go look. So the person is saying, well, I'll have them removed as your shopper. And I said, the guy's already driving to my house. Like, what? I don't understand what are you removing? You're going to kick him out of his car? You're going to take the groceries from him? What do you mean? So let me just, I'm going to read to you the chat log. Can I remove this shopper, SHOPPR? Can I remove this shopper from your order? And then she writes again, I would like to informed that if I remove from your order, then after little time new shopper is SHPPER will assign you. So if you want to remove this shopper, then I will do my best for you. I write back, you're not even making sense. I have no idea what that means. Then the reply is, and also ban this shopper from your account so that this shopper not assing in your future orders. Not assing in your future orders. So are you saying that they rubbed their ass on my groceries? Is that what that means? I really don't. That's the chat. So again, Instacart. Is that $1 billion company? Several multi-million anyway. That's the chat support that you're getting. Let me just, again. I would like to informed that if I remove from your order, then after little time, new shipper will assign you. So if you want to remove this shopper, then I will do my best for you. And also ban this shopper from your account so that this shopper not assing in your future orders. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that chat resolved the issue? Let me tell you, it did not. So you're already pissed off about the situation, and then you experience that. So what happens? It enrages you more, right? So I totally understand. I do enjoy the show Customer Wars. Now, again, I'm not one of those people who's like throwing the French fries at the McDonald's employees. I'm not doing that. And I'm certainly not yelling at people in the store. But I'm definitely losing my patience, because this is the problem, though, is that the level of customer service sucks. Companies seem to know this. Like, I don't know. So again, when I was in customer service, like in Party City, you had employee reviews. You had, back to that call center I was talking about, they would have somebody attached to your headset listening to you on calls, marking you like it's a fucking school report card. They were, it was serious that you had to hit these points. You had to do it. And now, and what's weirder now is that it's easy to take screenshots of that shit and show the world what I just encountered and what happened. Really. I mean, that's what it is. We can all record calls and we can all do we all could have recorded calls back then, but screenshot is the easiest thing now to just go and post it all over social media and go, this is what Instacart is doing. This is the support you get. But the problem is, the companies aren't going to change it, so it's just going to piss off customers more and more. The beauty, as you always hear, is that, well, we vote with our dollars, so then we just don't shop there anymore. We just don't. So is that enough? Is it enough? I'm not one of those people who calls for a boycott, right? No more Instacart. Look at this. But will I use it very often? Probably not. I'm definitely not going to renew and pay a monthly fee when that's the service that I get. Your shopper refuses to get the item that's recommended. The support doesn't help the situation. So I'm going to think twice now about either just going and getting the groceries when I'm coming on my way home or something, or use another app, or send my husband to go, just something. But it just makes you go. We had a discussion. You're wrapping me up again already. We're done already. Is the show over? Okay, well, I'm gonna throw to a break, and then I'll come back and wrap it up. And yeah, we'll be right back on the Scribble.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter at The Scribble Show and at thescribbleshow.com.
Again, send me your customer service nightmare stories. The email address live@jbonair.com. live@jbonair.com. My name is Jeremy Bradley. This is The Scribble. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm going to be back here, same time, same place next week. Oh, for the Valentine's show. Oh, you're going to feel the love. I'll talk to you then. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter at The Scribble Show. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some